Alright, by now, I'm sure that you have crawled out from the rock that you are underneath and you know of the rumor that is a spoiler alert, that the man, the beast, Brock Lesnar himself is showing up on Monday Night Raw. I know yesterday I really buried this guy saying that, the rumor was out there that he was going to leave, WWE, and he was going to try to go back to UFC to have one more fight, whether that was against Fedor, or if it was against Mir, or if it was against, if he's going to try and beat Cain Velasquez, the guy who Jack Swagger beat twice in college himself. What's he going to do? And I guess, the wrestling world is all up in arms because Brock is coming back. But he's coming back to have a match or some sort of a program against Mark Henry, which makes no sense at all how they're going to capitalize. It's not up to me how much they pay Brock Lesnar. It wasn't me that went to the table and said pay the guy. And honestly, coming out of UFC, trying to get him back into WWE, I probably honestly would have given him as much as he wanted to. This guy's a huge star. He was UFC's biggest name, and I know there is no real wrestling rivalry between WWF and WWE, UFC, TNA. There's no Monday Night Wars or anything like that, no matter what they want to do. But I mean, like, a few years ago, this was the poster boy for UFC. He was on the cover of their UFC video game. I believe it was one of the first games they ever came out with back in, 2010. And if they're going to take that and they're going to steal a name like that, that's a big deal. You got to get that guy. I mean, it doesn't really come across like, Hall and Nash showing up on, Nitro, coming fresh off, Monday Night Raw or anything like that. But honestly, it was a big deal to get him in there and have that match with him and John Cena is a big deal. But now, he's fought Cena, he's fought Triple H, he's fought Punk, and you're going to give him Mark Henry? And you're going to make, money off of this somehow? It makes no sense in the world. I know that, WWE came to the table and tried to get all of us to order the pay-per-view. I don't even remember what pay-per-view it was. Which pay-per-view was it that Mark Henry main evented against John Cena for the WWE title? I can't even remember what it was, but it was a big moment. Henry came out there to retire on Monday Night Raw. And, then he, turned on Cena, giving him the world's strongest slam, and, then they were off to have a match. Cena beat him, and next thing you know, he wasn't a heel anymore. He just slided back into being a babyface, wearing the big old, Kool-Aid Man outfit out there and everything like that. But besides for that, I mean, he's coming out of an angle where he wrestled last week against Damian Sandow to see if Christmas was going to survive. If Sandow was going to win, he was going to cancel Christmas as bad Santa, and Henry was good Santa, and all of a sudden that leads to Brock Lesnar? That makes no sense. I mean, even if it's just a throwaway match at the Royal Rumble, if you want to have Brock Lesnar at the Rumble, that's fine, but put him in the fucking Rumble to make us believe that he's actually got a shot at doing this thing. Because, I mean, like, when it comes down to it, there's few options. We've been hoping for Brock versus Rock for a few years. What people are guessing we're going to get is Brock versus Taker for this year. And there's that slight chance that people think it's actually going to be Brock versus Batista at WrestleMania. And how Mark Henry leads into any of this, I've got no clue. It doesn't make any sense in the world unless, Brock's going to say that he beat the biggest beast in WWE and now he's the true beast and no one's bigger or better than him, and maybe Batista comes out after that. But why the fuck is the Undertaker going to give a shit that basically, this guy came out there and beat up Mark Henry? I know that maybe you can tie in the streak, but I mean, that was a long damn time ago. WrestleMania 21? Yeah, 21-ish, maybe it's 22. Having him, face him, and maybe, you can say he's beaten. Brock can say he beat Punk at SummerSlam. He beat, Triple H 1,000 times. Shawn Michaels isn't around to wrestle. Edge isn't around to wrestle. Batista's not back yet. Maybe he can just lead back saying he's beat everyone that Taker's beat. Maybe that's a long stretch of, I guess he did beat Shawn Michaels didn't beat him in a match, but he broke his arm before SummerSlam last year. So maybe you can say that he's going backwards, saying he beat everybody. But if you want, any continuity into anything that Brock is doing, you have the chance of a lifetime to turn, Ryback babyface. Like the whole deal is that, Heyman dumped Axel and Ryback, and now they're fighting as a tag team a little bit. Maybe have, Brock come back. He feuds with Ryback. Gets Ryback out of the ashes. He doesn't have to beat him. He just has to have the feud with the guy where he doesn't look like he's, going to lay down for somebody in 2 minutes at WrestleMania to Goldberg. I mean, just like make him look like he's something, and you can, build off of him as a babyface. You go back to Hell in a Cell 2011. He was one of the, 2012. 2012, he was one of the biggest names. He looked like the future of WWE. I mean, people knew that the storyline for WrestleMania was, well, not for Mania, but for the Royal Rumble, I apologize, was the streak. That, Rock was going to go in and Rock was going to beat the streak. But, I mean, it was debated, that, Ryback was so hot. Why not? Sort of end this thing early. And then you could have Ryback be the champ, and then you have the start of something there. You didn't have to have Ryback go on to the Rumble to face The Rock. And you could have had him, drop the belt back at TLC. Punk wouldn't have been able to say that he was injured, and he would have had to wrestle that match. But, I mean, like, it wasn't the longest stretch in order to put that together. And, that out of anything, Mark Henry makes no sense. You turn Ryback babyface. You can get him started in the right direction of, turning something around. I mean, Ryback's the guy that, I don't know how he's going to move any pay-per-view numbers as a babyface or a heel. You have to get that started somehow. And like I said, he doesn't have to beat Brock. He just has to be in a match with Brock. And that makes 1,000 times more sense than anything else they got going on. But, I don't know. That's me scratching my head saying, I don't know what the fuck WWE's doing anymore. But for me, peace out.